There is a small predator asleep on your lap right now, or on someone's lap somewhere, in nearly every country on Earth. It kills for sport. It answers to no one. It has never once worked a day in its life. And somehow, it has convinced a species that built rockets and cities to feed it, house it, and clean up after it, for free, forever. You think you own a cat. The story of how that animal got onto your lap suggests something stranger. It may be closer to the truth to say the cat owns you. For roughly 10,000 years, this quiet takeover has been underway, and almost nobody noticed it happening. So how did a wild killer end up as the most popular pet on the planet? To answer that, you first have to throw out the word you've always used: domestication. Because with almost every other animal, domestication is a thing humans did. We chose the calmest wolves and bred them into dogs. We picked the fattest, slowest sheep and shaped them over generations. We were the sculptors. The animal was the clay. The cat refused to play that game. To understand why, start with where they came from. In 2007, a geneticist named Carlos Driscoll led a study that compared the DNA of cats from all over the world, hundreds of them, wild and tame. He was trying to find the single ancestor of every house cat alive, and he found it. Every domestic cat on Earth, from the one in your home to the one in a Tokyo apartment, traces back to one subspecies: Felis silvestris lybica, the African wildcat, a lean, sandy-colored hunter still prowling the deserts and grasslands of the Middle East and North Africa today. Now here is the first surprise. That wildcat and your house cat are barely different. Genetically, behaviorally, even in size. The gap between a tabby on a windowsill and its wild desert ancestor is tiny. Compare that to a dog. A chihuahua and a wolf share an ancestor, but 10,000 years of human breeding have stretched them into almost different worlds. The cat was never stretched. It barely changed at all. Which raises a question. If humans didn't reshape the cat, then what actually happened? The answer is buried, literally, on an island. In 2004, on the island of Cyprus, archaeologists uncovered a grave that was around 9,500 years old. In it lay a human being. And just 40 centimeters away, deliberately placed, facing the same direction, lay a cat, not eaten, not sacrificed, buried with care, beside a person as if it mattered. This is a stunning find, and here is why. There were never wildcats on Cyprus. The island had none, which means a human had to carry that cat there, by boat, across open sea, on purpose, 9,500 years ago. People were already bringing cats into their lives long before the pyramids, long before writing, long before almost anything you think of as history. So let's reconstruct how it actually began. And to do that, you have to picture the single event that changed everything for our species and accidentally changed it for the cat too: farming. Around 12,000 years ago, in the Fertile Crescent, that arc of rich land across the modern Middle East, humans started doing something new. They stopped chasing food and started storing it. They grew grain. And for the first time in history, they kept it in piles, in pits, in the very first granaries. A pile of grain is a quiet thing, but it does something. It draws mice and rats. Rodents poured into these new human settlements to feast on the stored harvest, in numbers no wild landscape had ever offered. And what hunts mice? So picture it. The edge of one of the world's first villages 10,000 years ago. The sun is going down, the people are inside. And out near the grain stores, in the long grass at the border of the firelight, a pair of eyes is watching. A wildcat. Drawn not to the humans, it has no interest in humans, but to the buffet of rodents the humans have unknowingly created. This is the heart of the whole story. The cat was not invited. The cat invited itself. It saw an opportunity, a reliable supply of prey, and it moved in. The boldest, least fearful wildcats, the ones willing to creep close to human settlement, ate the best and survived the best. Over many generations, the population near humans slowly became a little tamer, a little bolder, a little more tolerant of people. Not because humans were choosing them, because the environment was. Scientists have a name for this. They call it self-domestication. The animal adapts itself to human life, on its own terms, without human design. The cat essentially looked at civilization, decided the food was good, and chose to stay. And we let it. Because it turns out the cat was offering something in return. It was killing the rodents that ate our food and spread our diseases. A silent, efficient, unpaid pest controller had simply shown up at the door. So humans did the rational thing. They tolerated it. Then they welcomed it. Then, eventually, they adored it. Nowhere did that adoration go further than Egypt. By the time of the pharaohs, the cat had climbed from the granary to the throne room to the heavens. The Egyptians associated cats with the goddess Bastet, a deity of home, fertility, and protection, often shown with the head of a cat. Cats were so sacred that harming one, even by accident, could be punished by death. When a household cat died, the family would mourn it and in some cases shave off their own eyebrows in grief. Archaeologists have since uncovered cat cemeteries holding not a few, but hundreds of thousands of mummified cats, embalmed with the same care given to people. Think about the journey. In a few thousand years, this animal went from an uninvited predator skulking at the edge of the firelight to a creature worshipped as a god. It never had to change who it was. It never had to obey. It never had to work on command the way a dog does. It simply was, and humans rearranged their world around it. Now, look down at the cat near you, or picture the last one you saw. It still does not come when called. It still hunts when it has no need to. It still treats your home as territory it has graciously agreed to share. The aloofness you find so charming, or so maddening, is not a personality quirk. It is the desert wildcat, still fully intact inside the animal on your couch, barely altered in 10,000 years. You are not living with something we tamed. You are living with something that decided a very long time ago that we were useful. We tend to tell this story as a triumph of human civilization, the mighty species that conquered the planet and collected the animals. But maybe it runs the other way. We built the farms. We built the cities. We built the warm rooms and the steady supply of food. And a small wild hunter looked at all of it, this entire empire we had constructed, and quietly concluded that we had built it for them. There is a small predator asleep on a lap somewhere right now. It does not think it belongs to anyone. And the strangest part of the whole story is that it may be right.